Hello, I am Dr. Aizaz from MedicoVisual.com, and today I am not here for a visual lecture. Today we are celebrating the 50,000 subscribers that we have recently reached on our YouTube channel MedicoVisual. That's a great milestone for all of us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much everyone who supported in this journey. I cannot thank you enough. So as I have promised that I will be creating a special Q&A video, and I asked for the questions from you guys, and you people put some really brilliant questions, and thank you so much for those questions. So today I will answer those questions. So starting from question number 1, it is from Muhammad Hamad Zia 5962. He's saying, Salam sir, really a big fan of you. These are my questions for your Q&A video. Number 1 question is from where you did your MBBS. Number 2, are you currently teaching in any medical college? And number 3 is that what are your views about MBBS as a whole, whether it is worth it or not, both in Pakistan and abroad. So from where you did MBBS? I did my MBBS from Akhtar Saeed Medical College, Lahore. And by the way, those who do not know what is MBBS, MBBS is like MD in USA. It's called MD, medical doctor. So it's a basic medical qualification in Pakistan, India, and certain other parts of the world. The second question that he asked, that are you currently okay? I'm not currently teaching anywhere in any medical college or whatsoever. I am fully focused on MedicoVisual.com, and by the way, this is my sole source of earning. And recently I was looking at the stats. What I have noticed is that my sales are going down this month. I don't know what happened. So please, if you want to support me, please buy my courses. They will not only help you in your studies, but they will also help me, and they will support me, and they will provide me sources to create more of such visual lectures. So what are my views of MBBS? That's a good question. My view of MBBS is that, of any degree in general, not just MBBS, is that you should do MBBS or law or computer science or whatsoever, XYZ, whatever degree it is. You should only do it if you are really passionate about it. If you love doing something, then you must pursue it. And if you are not really passionate about medicine, then don't go for MBBS. You should only pursue that field which you are really passionate about. And that is my view of professional education in general. It's not so fascinating, but this is what it is. This is my view. It may be wrong, but that's what I think. So the second question is from Ilya Khan. I hope I'm pronouncing it correct. I'm sorry if I mispronounce it. Ilya Khan W8V. So from which you are? I think he or she means from which city you are. So I am from Lahore, Pakistan. Graduate from which college? I already mentioned, from Akhtar Saeed Medical College. My age. So my age is, I recently turned 29. Working at which place? I already answered this question. I am fully focused on MedicoVisual.com. So this question is really interesting. SSS-grade. He or she is saying, thank you so much for sharing your work. Love your videos. They are actively saving my degree. Thank you so much for your kind words. What made you embark on this journey of creating animated embryology videos? Well, I think this warrants a separate video altogether. Well, if you want to summarize my answer in a single phrase, that would be my bad memory. Well, you heard it right. I have a terrible memory. Even I sometimes forget my wife's birthday and she really gets angry with me. Because I have a terrible memory, during my student life, I could not just go around and memorize a topic. I could not cram the topic because I used to forget it quickly. So I had to focus on understanding the core concept, and I had to create the connections with the previous knowledge. I had to relate it with the previous knowledge that I already have. I had to build those connections to get the retention. So, in search of clearing concepts, I found Dr. Najeeb lectures, which changed my medical life. I watched a lot of his lecture. I religiously followed Dr. Najeeb lectures. Even later, I met with Dr. Najeeb as well. And then I said to myself that one day I will be a medical teacher like Dr. Najeeb. He really inspired me a lot. So I watched his lecture. I learned not only medicine from him, but I also learned how to teach. Watching his lectures made me understand the process of teaching. So then I thought that I should not compete with Dr. Najeeb. I cannot compete with Dr. Najeeb's style. He is doing his best in his own style. He is master of his niche. So I thought that I should form my own style. And then I realized that there is a lack of 3D animations in medical science. Some intricate and complicated concepts they require 3D dynamic animations and 3D models to properly make them understandable. So then I started learning 3D softwares. I started with 3ds Max, then in first year MBBS, by the way, but that was quite expensive software. So later I switched to Blender, and Blender is open source, it's free. So I started learning Blender, and also I started learning PowerPoint. And at the end of medical school, after my graduation, I finally founded MedicoVisual.com. So regarding the embryology, it was actually the followers' request. Some of my followers, they commented that I should start teaching embryology on MedicoVisual, this channel, this YouTube channel. Previously, I had uploaded different random topics of medical science, and also I had created some videos on COVID-19. At that time, it was, I guess, peak time of COVID-19, so I created those videos as well. And on request of my followers, I started creating embryology. And the other reason is that embryology is the base of everything. It is the foundation of medical science. Not everything, I mean the medical science. So it is the foundation of medical science. So I said to myself that why not formally start my online medical teaching career from the foundation, from the base, from the beginning. I mean literally from the beginning, from the zygote stage, even before the zygote stage, at the sperm stage, and the ovum stage. Yeah. So the goal of these animations is that personally I myself am a visual learner. So I had to struggle a lot during my student life to understand the concepts, especially those which were not taught by Dr. Najeeb. So I wanted to create that type of lectures which I myself want to watch. So I think that if I had the access to MedicoVisual lectures during my student life, I would have been one of the happiest medical students. So I turned this personal struggle into a way to help others, other medical students. That's why I founded MedicoVisual, and that was the whole aim of creating MedicoVisual. Well, my aim of creating MedicoVisual is not just to earn money. Of course, it is to earn money. I won't lie. Everyone is there to earn money. After all, we have to feed our families. We have to pay our bills. So we have to earn money, but there is primary goal, and the primary goal is to create highest quality medical lectures to help medical students. That is the primary goal, and of course secondary goal is to earn money, and tertiary goal is to get some fame as well. I won't lie, I won't fake being a humble person in front of the camera. I am being what I am actually. So yeah, that was it. So I hope this answers your question, that basically I had a bad memory which led to some personal struggle during student life, and ultimately I thought that I should create some decent and highly visual type of medical lectures, so the struggle which I had to undergo, other students should not undergo. That was my goal, and that is why I created MedicoVisual. So next question is from Huria AK848. She is saying you deserve million of subscribers, sir. Thank you so much. Really unique and exceptional work. Again, thanks a lot for your appreciation. And she's saying, if you do not mind, in your next video, can you share with us your techniques in approaching any topic and learning experience dot 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 question mark. Okay, that's again a brilliant question. That's an awesome question. So again, this question also warrants a totally a different video. And by the way, I might create another video explaining the behind the scene things, that how I create these lectures. But for that, you have to subscribe to this channel. I rarely ask anyone to subscribe my channel. This is because I believe that if you are providing quality content, people will automatically subscribe to you. They will automatically like your video. You don't have to beg others to subscribe. But anyhow, I am doing in this video. Please subscribe to this video, and ultimately in one of the video, maybe at 75k or 100k, or maybe before that, I will create a video, a behind the scene video, where I will show you exactly my exact process, that how I create these visual lectures. But here I will briefly summarize it. So I start studying a topic from a basic textbook of the subject. For example, if we talk about embryology, I start with BRS embryology or Langman embryology by Sadler. Then what I do is that I read the topic from that book very slowly and at a slow pace. I try to visualize everything in my mind. Whatever there is written in the textbook, I try to create a visual picture in my mind of the same. And then I connect it with my previous knowledge, right? I connect the concepts because everything is interconnected, you know. And while studying, I focus a lot on diagrams. As I've told you that I'm a visual learner, I focus a lot on diagrams. Then what I do is that during this study process, during studying this basic book, I question a lot. I question literally everything, and I write those questions. For example, if in the book there is written that, for example, I was recently studying for the Pons embryology, and there I saw that it's written that there is in the Pons there is an abducent nerve nucleus, abducens nucleus, and the facial nerve motor fibers, they wind around the abducens nucleus. Now they have written this thing that they wind around, and I started questioning it, why they are going to wind around. That is a question. I mean, they can just come out straight anterolaterally. They can just come out, follow the straight path. Why they are winding around? There must be some reason for that. And I wrote down these questions. And by the way, I have made a complete video on this specific question. So in a summary, first step is that, of course, I start with the basic textbook, Langman, BRS, whatever you like, you can study that. I slowly read that, I visualize, I focus on the diagrams, and I write lots of questions that I encountered during that study. Then, in the next step, this was step 1, studying the basic textbook. Step 2, by the way, if you are if you are wondering why I am looking at the side, this is because I have the computer screen open in front of me, and I have written some key points that I have to discuss during the video. So don't mind if I do not maintain an eye contact with you. Okay, so the second step is that after studying the basic book, second step is that I go to other resources. For example, I go to, for embryology specifically, I go to Keith Moore's Developing Human, Larson's Embryology, Bruce Carlson's Embryology, Inderbir Singh's Embryology, Abdul Wahid Rana's Embryology, and what else? There are lots of textbooks actually, and I read lots of textbook to make some sense. So what I do in this second step of in which I read a lots of different resources, here I try to find the answers to the question that I incurred during the first step. So number one thing is that I try to find the answers to those questions. Secondly, I try to get some more information, some more crucial information related to topic and some logical information that I could add. So this was step 2. Then the step 3 is very interesting and very important, that is about cross subject integration. Now I study that topic from other subjects as well. For example, if I am preparing for eye embryology lecture, I don't just study eye embryology. I do not just study eye from embryology textbook. I study embryology from histology perspective. I study histology textbooks. I study physiology textbook, for example, Guyton and Hall, Costanza, Linda. These are important textbooks, and yeah, histology, anatomy, and even biochemistry, if relevant topics are there in biochemistry, and any subject. I am not restricted to any subject, right? So I study other subjects and I try to get a three-dimensional, a bird eye view of the subject, and I try to integrate all this information. For example, if I am trying to create a CNS embryology lecture, I study the neuroanatomy of that topic as well. This reminds me of Dr. Najeeb's quotation, and Dr. Najeeb once said in Punjabi, which is his native language, by the way. So first I will tell you the Punjabi quotation, then I will translate it in English. So what he said is that ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਜਿਸਮ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਬਾਇਓਕੈਮਿਸਟਰੀ, ਐਨੈਟਮੀ, ਫਿਜ਼ੀਓਲੋਜੀ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਬਜੈਕਟ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਹੋ ਉਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਲੱਗ-ਅਲੱਗ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਰਹੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸਬਜੈਕਟ, ਇਸ ਲਈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦੀ. So what he means is that in your body, in the same body, there is anatomy of that body, there is physiology of that body, there is biochemistry of that body, and of course there is embryology of that same body. So in the body, every medical subject, even non-medical subject, physics, chemistry, everything is integrated, interrelated. But when you study them separately. So this is the wrong approach to study. You should study all these subjects together. What I mean by this is that if you are trying to study, for example, ear, you have to study its embryology, then you have to study physiology, you have to study anatomy, all these things you have to study together and try to correlate these things. You have to make interconnections. The more interconnections you create, the more interconnections will form inside the neurons of your brain, and that will drastically increase your memory. Try this trick. This will definitely help you. And by the way, I do not just stick to the medical science subjects. I go beyond the curriculum. For example, once I had to teach. By the way, I also used to teach in my own medical college for some time as a lecturer or demonstrator, as they say. It was a post of demonstrator. So I was a demonstrator of biochemistry, and later I had to resign for some reason. Actually, I was forced to resign, but that is the story of another video. Do let me know in the comment section if you want to know more about that incident. So anyhow, I used to teach biochemistry, and there was a topic in biochemistry. It's an infamous topic. I will teach that as well on MedicoVisual. That was about acid-base biochemistry. It's the topic of physiology as well as biochemistry. So acid-base balance was the topic. Now to understand the acid-base balance, I had to read a lots of college level chemistry textbooks and some physics textbooks as well. So I do not, as a student of science, I do not restrict myself strictly to the subjects of my curriculum. I go beyond that. I strive to understand the basics. I remember even I once had to learn the mathematics, specifically calculus, to understand some equations of biochemistry. So everything is interrelated. Every science is interrelated. You cannot understand a particular subject without knowing that topic from the perspective of other scientific subjects. So that is very important. You have to embrace the interconnectedness of science subjects. You know, math is connected with physics, physics is connected with chemistry, physical chemistry, then your biological sciences, they are also interconnected. Anatomy is interconnected with physiology. There is particular shape of any of your body part because it has to perform certain function in a certain way. If that shape was not in that particular pattern, that function would not have been performed. So you see how anatomy and physiology are interrelated. So it is very important to interconnect the subjects. This is my biggest tip, and this should be, I think, the biggest take home message of this video. So the next question is that Gul Khan 9537, he is saying, Salam, my beloved doctor. Walaikum Assalam. I'm interested to know, will you share your class and learning experience, especially of most respected Dr. Najeeb sir. Love you, sir, from Dr. Shayan. Thank you, Dr. Shayan, and Walaikum Assalam. Those who do not know, I had attended some of live lectures of Dr. Najeeb, and by the way, I also worked for Dr. Najeeb for some time, about 2-3 months. Then I resigned from there and fully focused on MedicoVisual.com. So I think this is what I presume, that he is asking about my learning experience related with Dr. Najeeb. I think I have discussed it already in a great detail, that Dr. Najeeb is, of course, one of the best medical teacher, and I have learned a lot from him. So yeah, I think that answers your question. Next question is from RKSW. He's Ritesh. I know him. He's a very dear student of mine. He's saying that your dedication, patience, and determination has been remarkable towards the teaching. Thank you so much. Even this allowed medical students to learn this typical subject, embryo. May God give you further success in your career. Ameen, and thank you so much. I want to ask when you will be starting lectures on other subjects too. Of course, I will be starting the lectures on other subjects as soon as I complete the embryology. Actually, first iteration of embryology. Embryology is a huge subject. I think it's not possible to cover this embryology in detail in my lifetime even. It's so huge subject. So I will be covering the basic undergrad level embryology, and most of the important topics, inshallah, I will cover those. And after that, I will focus on other subjects. I will go for physiology, I will go for biochemistry, anatomy, and even pathology and pharmacology. But my goal is first to cover the basic medical sciences subjects, then semi-clinical subjects like pathology and pharmacology, and ultimately for clinical medical science, I will hire someone. I'm not good at clinical. Those who know me, that I am not a good clinician. I am not even a clinician. Although technically I have a license to practice medicine because I have medical degree, I have completed house job, but I am not a clinician. I am not a clinical person per se. I love teaching, and that is what I do, and that is what I love doing. For clinical, I might hire someone. I do not consider myself worthy enough to teach clinical subjects. There is an exception. I will be teaching ECG, EKG or ECG, and I will be focusing mainly on the basic medical aspects, basic sciences aspects. But for the clinical sciences aspects, again, I might hire someone, or I might collaborate with someone, or I might partner with someone to teach clinical subjects. So, and the other question is from Noor Rahman 9104. Sir, did you upload lectures of gonads development? I had already answered him or her in the comments, in the reply to this comment. He or she is asking that, did you upload the lectures of reproductive system embryology? Well, many of these system-based embryology topics are already covered. as of now, CNS embryology is remaining, musculoskeletal embryology is remaining, and skin embryology is remaining, which we will cover soon, hopefully. The reproductive system embryology, it is already covered, and all these system based embryology lectures, you can get them on MedicoVisual.com. Most of these courses, they are paid, but if you cannot afford, please contact me. You can contact me via the WhatsApp. I will put the number on screen, and you can also contact me via live chat on the website or via the email. So if any of you cannot afford these courses, please contact me. I will offer a massive discount. I typically do not offer these videos for free, but I offer massive discount to deserving students to help them. Of course, as I've told you, my aim is to help medical students. That is my primary aim, and secondary aim is to earn money. So if someone cannot afford, I will be happy to offer the discount. But I cannot, unfortunately, make all these courses available for free. The reason is that as I've told you, it is my sole source of earning, and earning from YouTube is not simply enough. It is very low. I think it's less than, I cannot reveal the exact earning of YouTube because it is against their terms of condition, but to get an idea, the monthly YouTube earning of this channel is almost equal to 1 day minimum wage in USA. It is so low. So I cannot rely, unfortunately, on YouTube earning. I have to sell the courses, sell the paid courses to cover the bills and to feed me and my family. So, but if you cannot afford, again, I am happy to help you. Don't worry about that. Feel free to contact me and I will definitely help. And next question is from Anthony Shingen. Anthony Shingen 4979. I'm sorry, I am mispronouncing it, I'm sure. So he's saying, sir, you deserve 1 million subscribers. Thank you so much, as you save lots of medical students in knowing the concepts and processes thoroughly. Thank you. And I'm sure that you would reach 1 million subscribers someday very soon. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your lovely words. Next question is from 1RRRR. There are lots of R544F. A big fan here. Thank you. You deserve more than that. I remember that when first I found your channel when I was in first year medical student. Since then, I have only watched your videos and then read the textbooks with a crystal clear understanding. Wow, I am blushing. Thank you, dear. Thank you so much. Next question is from Knowledge in Bits 7663. I have found your channel in second year and regret on missing it in first year. Now I watch your first year videos to clear my concepts and they are worth watching. I'm so happy to know that. Thank you so much. Next comment is again from 1RRR544F. Most medical students skip embryology lectures like my colleagues do. Hopefully more and more medical students find your channel and see how enjoyable embryology is with your videos. Oh, thank you so much. Bisma Farhini 8665. She has put these heart smileys. Thank you so much for your love and support. Aslam Nehran 2922. He is saying this is just the beginning. Wish you billions of subscribers, Dr. Saab. Lots of love from Pakistan. Thank you so much. And finally, this question was not asked in this specific post, but many people ask this question that what software do you use? And by now you must be knowing that I use Blender 3D mainly. For 3D animations and 3D model, I use Blender, and for 2D animations, I typically use, most of the time, I typically use PowerPoint. If you do not know, PowerPoint has very decent illustrations abilities. you can create quite decent vector illustrations and vector animation inside of the PowerPoint natively. You do not need any other software. So if you want to start teaching, you should start with the PowerPoint first, and if you want to be a brilliant teacher, then you should go for Blender as well. Blender is amazing, and best of all, it is totally free. So that was about the today's Q&A video. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have more questions, please post in the comments and I will try to answer most of you. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Goodbye.